All right, to continue our conversation on fantasy genres, I feel like this is important research to do in order to better market your book, tailor your book, think about your story, what works, what doesn't work. I think you have to understand the overarching genres of fantasy and figure out where you fit in the fold. So we're going to talk about a few more genres this month, starting out with our urban fantasy or contemporary fantasy. Now, typically these urban or contemporary fantasies, they bring elements of magic or just the supernatural into urban settings. So a couple of books that kind of spring to mind in this category, you have the Dresden Files. Percy Jackson can fall in that category. Vampire Academy. There are a lot of examples to feed off of in that particular genre. The next one is paranormal or paranormal romance. Again, almost like epic fantasy, this is a very large genre. There's a lot of competition here, especially in the paranormal romance category. We do know that romance is a monster of a genre to begin with. You add that paranormal romance in there and that supernatural aspect, and that is a very specific audience. And you can really pinpoint down to, what exactly those romance readers are looking for in the paranormal realm. Couple examples in that particular area are one of the big ones is Twilight. I wanted to like this book. I tried to read the book, couldn't do it. I'm not a big romance reader. I don't watch a lot of romance movies, so I found that one difficult, but it is very, very popular in the paranormal romance world. Discovery of Witches, Beautiful Creatures, another one, Mortal Instruments, and then the blockbuster Outlander, which is on my list of, I probably won't read it. I'll probably watch the show. I know that it's pretty good, but I have been told that even though I'm not a huge fan of romance, that I will probably enjoy that one. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a try, at least watch the show. So this is kind of a blending between supernatural aspects and romance with otherworldly elements. So again, a lot of competition in this genre. You definitely probably want to do your homework and find a couple subgenres that you fall under. There's certain readers that only want something with werewolves. People love vampires. Somebody will only read books that have shifters in them. So you definitely want to pinpoint who your audience is on that one. Popular in the last few years is young adult fantasy. We seem to have gone through a kick of young adult reading. I have some views on this, being that, for leisurely reading, I think that most readers enjoy at an 8th grade reading level. I know I'm going to say that again. 8th grade reading level. People don't want to be challenged when they read anymore, which is actually kind of a little bit of a disappointment, but it seems to be what people are interested in consuming. So, very popular genre. You have to be very careful. This is a very triggered genre. Sensitivity readers are a thing. It's very progressive and woke. So, tread lightly in this particular area. So young adult basically caters to teenage readers. It features kind of a coming of age themes and relatable protagonists. A couple examples of young adult fantasy, and most of these, since this is kind of an important phase, a lot of these books were turned into movies. You have Hunger Games, the Divergent series, and Shadow and Bone, which are written towards a young adult audience. Next on the list is children's fantasy, also a popular genre. A lot of these books have been turned into movies as well. So these, of course, have they're geared towards younger readers. They have a little bit more of a whimsical story to them, and very vivid and imaginative worlds. Harry Potter, A Wrinkle in Time, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, it's a classic. Coraline and Aragon are some really good examples of children's fantasy. And last on my list to talk about today are fairy tale retellings. So this is taking a story that everybody knows about a popular fairy tale character or story and putting a twist on it. Some of those twists can be like, for example, Disney, when they did the movie Maleficent, it was taking that classic classic Sleeping Beauty story and kind of rewriting it to the Maleficent point of view, which was interesting because it actually made us sympathize with the antagonist of the story, which was kind of refreshing, to be completely honest. These are new twists, new perspectives. They can be really interesting to write. I've written a couple myself. They're just a lot of fun. Some examples: Red Wolf, Cinder, Hunted, Bear and the Nightingale, Spinning Silver can be another example of fairy tale retellings. And like I said, these can be a lot of fun. These can also just be prompts and exercises too. If you want to retell a fairy tale, you can make a short little, write a quick short story, putting a twist on, one of the classic fairy tales. So there are several more fantasy genres that are pretty important. Next month, we're going to talk about sword and sorcery and historic fantasy, medieval and Arthurian fantasy, historical fantasy, and comic fantasy. So tune in next month and we will have a conversation about these genres. But in the meantime, pick something in your genre or maybe something outside your genre for something different to read or to watch. Broaden your horizons, learn more, look at the writing styles, look at the plots, the stories, the characters, but do a deep dive. It's basically research either in your genre or if you want to challenge yourself to break through and learn more about a new genre. I do that a lot. I read things outside of what I normally would just because I want to challenge myself and I want to read and pick up elements of different types of genres and, see if it gets any of those creative juices flowing. So check out some of the books on the list.